We're going to start out with the same lineup that we went with last time, and then we're going to start rotating about the second, third inning. Rachel and Sarah start switch up the pitching again, just like last time. That's good with you all. On the outfield, this time we'll reverse it the other way. You'll start out. You'll start out. You all know what I mean? Start out. Go back.
Good job, Rach. right, Sarah. Good job, Sarah. Not that one. Come on, Rach. Good hit. Good hit anyway. How'd she get on? Oh man, I wish I had that on tape. Oh, I do.
Set your feet. Rachel, good job.
Might be a little crowded. Nobody else up here right now. Hey, nobody else up here right now, okay? Let's hold this thing.
Egg toss thing, so.
Oh, you think we got enough for them all?
Well, there's 12 back now. We can. If you got 24 kids, I mean, it's just,
We can.
yeah.
Oh,
But
do this and videotape at the same time. Here.
hate when that happens.
Oh, no kidding.
Sorry, okay.
Okay.
You want to get on
Wow.
You want to go on in there?
I can't believe Barry got this one.
I'm
I don't know if I
okay.
can
No, you
do
go
it.
in there.
I just don't know if I can do it all. Okay, you want to pass these around?
Right, how much that?
This is something we started doing last year. And it's kind of a way to, have a seat there, Rachel. I'm a big talker. I'm going to be talking for a while. I got to be honest with you.
She's in a hurry.
I got a few things to say. Okay, we'll start here with Dee. Mike, you want to start with the girls this way? We started this last year.
It's already cut. I've been so busy. I'll call you tomorrow. I'll call you tomorrow.
I probably don't have it.
Yeah, they are. Ask Jill Whiting.
I have to talk to Tom.
All right.
I hope my battery doesn't run. I hope your battery's charged up.
Are you all right?
Because my husband's talking. You know that. I know that.
Yeah, just a couple of things I want to review with you. First of all, I wanted to give out an award for. Is Steve Roberts, is he here? Yeah. This is an award for Mr. Roberts, and it says awarded this certificate in recognition, and I think it's from the presentation athletic department. It's says best coin tosser at presentation.
Thank you.
A lot of people sign that too, by the way.
Yeah.
A big waiting list to sign that.
It's with great honor that I accept this award.
Yeah. So that's one thing I want to get out of the way. A couple of things. You know, when I came, this is my 6 years of presentation. This is my 3rd year coaching the fall ball team. And just a couple of notes that I wanted to tell you. Actually, it's about 3 pages. But, I've been waiting 6 years to say this. So when I came, and I'm telling you this for a reason, because everybody leaves a legacy. And I'm talking a whole lot to the seniors here and for the ones coming up. When my oldest daughter started playing here, fall ball was done a whole lot differently. And there's different philosophies. People have different philosophies while I'm gone. But sometimes I'd bring my bat machine and people would look at me like, what's that? I mean, true story. There's Dave Bender at. I don't know where Dave's at.
He's
but
over there.
Dave, am I exaggerating? No. We've changed the mentality here. And it's important for you to understand that because when we're gone, we want you all to keep that. At that time, presentation didn't practice before the season. So our philosophy was we wanted to come out here and compete because we weren't. And we felt it was important to compete because people, when we weren't being competitive, we were going back to school and people were kind of, oh, I can't believe y'all playing out on that fall ball team. You get beat all the time. So we changed that. And that's a legacy that you all should be proud of. When I come here today, got 15, 14 people, whatever we got here, a lot of people coming out every Sunday, a lot of people coming to practice. That says that you want to be involved. And everybody contributes. You got a lot of people out here, but everybody in some way contributed. I just think that's very important. Also, when I started coming here, I wanted to put together a traveling team. And I was telling Becca's dad, I said, you know, that team that we just played, Ballard, that's how I started my traveling team. When Kristen and Sarah, my youngest daughters, were playing, I saw what they were doing. Alan Jones with Ballard is a great guy, great coach. He had his own traveling team. And I wanted to do that, but the first year I couldn't do that because, quite simply, we just couldn't be competitive enough. So I had 3 people. I know Caitlin Bender and Sarah started with me probably the first 2, and then we picked up Caitlin Malloy and the rest, and kind of came. But last year, we had an all-presentation traveling team. Never been done. Bill Wine, Barbara Wine said, you know, they haven't been here 175 years, although it seems like Barbara has at times.
Did you get that on tape?
I got it on tape.
And you still look good, Barbara. But you know, I mean, I know Miss Wine and Mr. Wine very, very well, and for her they would laugh. But they both told me, so I don't think we've ever had an all-traveling team at Press. Not only that, we won a world qualifier. So I made some highlights of things that we've done over the year, but to win a world qualifier is pretty darn amazing. And all high school teams should never beat an all-traveling team in my book. Last year, the varsity team, you know, everybody here is a part of presentation's tradition, but we won 23 games. Most wins ever in the history of presentation. 23 ball games. We started hitting. I know Dave Bender kind of started that and said, you know, we're going to hit like the other teams do over the winter. And it's important when we're gone, keep that hitting going. All right? I know Jimmy and some of the other parents, and Paul, we've talked, but some of the other parents are coming up. Keep that tradition going because it's Mr. Wardrop. It's very, very important because that team that beat us, I didn't mind losing that team, but that team just beat us up here. I thought we played a good game. They just came from a tournament. They've been playing in tournaments and then playing up here just a little bit ahead of us. Regular season, big game go either way in my book. Fall ball, we've done so many good things. And Dave, I just wanted to say Dave Bender, Mike, Steve, Fred Hall, and maybe some of you don't know Fred Hall, but he had, I think he put 4 daughters through this presentation program, was a big part of it. So it helped with our culture. I think Mike, this is our 3rd year. Third year, and I think we went 8-2, 7-5, and 7-5 this year. Had a winning season every year we've done this, and I think, although that's not everything, it's important to compete. That's the main thing, and we competed in every game besides the record, and that's really important, I think, for the school. Just a couple notes. Where's Caitlin Bender at? Caitlin, right in front of me. Caitlin, my oldest daughter, Kristen, you were over my backyard so many times. Being a catcher is almost like an offensive lineman in football. You don't get a lot of credit. You're back there, you're catching every game, and you've been catching since you were a freshman. But I thank you for all the catching that you've done for my daughters. You've helped make them better, and you really deserve a whole lot of credit because I think you're just a fantastic catcher. and you don't always get a lot of credit, but today you get your credit. So nice job. I appreciate that. I told Sherry over the years like having another daughter around the house. I really mean that sincerely. Sarah, I've always made a practice that I don't talk about my own daughter too much. Sometimes that's part of being a coach because I just, it's just the way it is. But I will talk about you today. And I mean that in a good way. You've been a wonderful daughter. I've enjoyed coaching you so much throughout the years since you were 5 years old. And just so y'all know, when Sarah was 5 years old, we went out to t-ball practice with her older sister. And Sarah, I didn't know much about ball at this time, but I thought she was going to be playing outfield, and I had this biggest glove that I could possibly find on this little 5-year-old kid. We got pictures of it. I thought, if she can bigger the glove, she'll catch everything, right? So she's standing there, and she won't go out there and play. Got tears running down her face, and I went and whispered in her ear, and I did what I thought any good dad would do. But I said, Sarah, if you don't get out there, you're grounded when you get home. True story. And I worried about it the rest of the day because I thought, did I do the right thing as a parent? Should I have done that? And but when I got home, the rest of the day, Dad, we go out in the backyard. We go throw with me, and I don't think we ever looked back. So, as it turned out, it was always a good thing, I think. Plus, I think you're a very good role model for everybody. Very humble person, and I like that a whole lot. The parents, any good coach, it's got to have good coaches around them. Got to have good players, and you got to have great parent support. And the group of seniors, I could go on, and I'm afraid I'll miss somebody, but Rachel, I know when you came to presentation, what a wonderful addition. Your parents were so involved, and they were just like the Benders, the Roberts, the Wardrops, I could go on, but and then we got the new freshman parents coming up that were totally involved, and Jimmy Mitchell, and I go on, but just like us, and you got to have great parent support, and boy did we ever. And I just want to say, I know I'm leaving this program in good shape. Jimmy Mitchell, I think, is going to take it over next year. And when I look at coaches, coaches are, I think they got great personalities, and I think they're great with you all. And I just want to tell you that someday you're going to be coaching, I hope, or be involved, maybe be your young kids. You may not remember a whole lot what I've taught you, what the coaches have taught you about hitting, about playing ball, but I hope that you will remember how we treated you. And I think that we've treated you well. I think we've led by example. And anybody know who Mike Candre is? He's probably the best coach in America. Coaches Arizona, but Jenny Finch, I'm sure, and Jessica Mendoza is one of the greatest players. And today, she was on ESPN a while back, and she said, "They said, will you always remember about your coach?" And she said, "I'll always remember the way he treated me. It wasn't like, oh, he taught me to do this. It was the way he treated me." She said, "When things went bad, he talked to me." And I respected him for that, and I hope you all will always remember that. Hopefully that's the way we treated you, because that's the way you should coach, in my opinion. You don't have to get in somebody's face, you don't have to yell at people. Sometimes you see a lot of that. It's really, in my book, it's not necessary. And every team, I think I've had one losing season in probably 15 years, so I think that method works. And I think we've all done real well. So with that, Steve?
Yes, all right, thank you. I'll keep mine short because I think they're getting ready to turn off the lights.
Why? You got the part two, yes, Steve.
I was afraid of that. I came to the program about 3 years ago, and the first thing that I noticed about John was how well respected he was around the circuit. All the other coaches, all the other teams, all the other players, they all knew him because he'd been around for a while, and they all respected him. That's number one. Number two, I noticed how well he treated everybody, which is very important to me, and the rapport that he builds with all of his players. And number three, and I think most importantly, is the life lessons that he teaches through the game of softball. A lot of the things that I've seen him teach you all be able to use in your careers. Like, when things aren't always going your way, you stick in there and you keep fighting and you keep trying. And John teaches that every time he steps on the field. And he's also very fair-handed. He treats everybody with respect. And that is what impressed me the most about John. and I want to thank you very much for doing the job that you've done.
Mike?
Well, after that, I don't know.
Actually, I was looking forward to hearing from you too. Wow, I can't wait for this.
Well, what I'll take it back to is exactly what I've said a number of times about you girls. That there's no quit in you, and I fully believe that John's instilled that in you girls. Since I've been around John and you girls, I've seen that. You'd have 2 outs and needing 2 runs, and you get 3 runs. It happens. You girls just find a way. I know John's helped you find that way, and I'm pleased, proud that I got to be part of this. And John, I thank you for letting me be part of this. Caitlin, I know I've challenged you a few times throughout the years. I didn't get you the great big ball glove, but I got you the new case. But I appreciate you stepping up and putting up with having a dad for a coach sometimes. And I know it wasn't really easy.
Yeah, it's hard to coach your